Hello everybody. Okay, this is a very important topic, which is the topic of arrays. So you could see that in the previous example we can create an array of names, right? This array of names, because it's defined using the let as let, this means it's a constant. You cannot expand or mutate the array. All right, so basically you can look here, it tells you there are two types, mutable arrays. They are called collections. So basically you can have collections. Some of them are mutable, some of them are not mutable. Mutable means you cannot change their sizes and so on, right? So basically names, so you see here names dot, there is no, if you try to append, let's say for example, let's append test, you cannot use mutating member on non-immutable value. So basically because it's defined using let, right? So basically, yeah, so this is an array, right? So an array has names, it has a count, tells you print, for example, names.count. This gives you the ability to count how many entries in the array. There are 4 entries in the array, right? And you can do access to them. So for example, I could say print names of 1 of 0. That prints Bob. Like you go here, you click on play, and you could see that it's now printing names of Bob. So basically that's an immutable array. It is index accessible. So for example, I can do 3. You can also do first. You can do dot first. This gets you the first entry of the array. Here it is. But you see it returns an optional, and this optional means because sometimes you want a first in an array, the array is empty, and when you do first it returns a nil. So that's why the value that it needs to be returned needs to, so what you could do is you could say if let first entry equals names dot first, so it gives you the first entry, print first, right? Else you could say, for example, print no first entry, right? Something like that, right? So basically when you run this, you can see that now here is the first. There is most probable also there is a last. So basically you can copy that. There is also last. All right, the last entry. This is last, and basically you can print last, no last entry. So basically you run this, and it shows Eve as the last entry, right? Eve is the last, and Bob. So basically these are like methods or attributes that allow you to get things done a little bit faster, right? Now, what if you want to create, let's say we want to create an array that is mutable. So basically this is how, and also you can loop over the array entries just to give you an idea for each, let's say name in names. I want to print the names. Print name is, and I'm going to add to it name, right? So it's something like that. Run this, and here it is. I'm printing the names, right? So I can loop over them like this, or you can use an index-based approach. You could say for each index in 0 dot dot until names dot count, and then I could do print name with index. So I want to do the I here, and then I'll do names of I, right? Something like that. So I'll run this. This is index, sorry, we called it index, and we called it here also index. I'll run this again, and basically I'm saying that name of, let's call it names of 0. So basically here it is, names of 0 is Bob, names of 1 is Alice, and so on. So basically you can use an index, or you can do the for each. You know, if you don't need the index, for each is amazing, right? You can use it. All right, cool. So now we are able to loop and do all that interesting stuff over arrays. Now, how to manage arrays that are mutable? So basically, let's say we declare them as var, and to create an empty array, let's say for example I want to create a string array. I'll do that. I'll say string, it's of type string, and then open and close. So this is an empty array. Okay, so you declared a type which is empty array of type string. It's going to have string, and you could say names dot append, let's say Alice, and similarly names dot append Bob. All right, and so on. So basically now I could do a for each name in names, print name, and now when you run it, you will see that it will display the names. Here it is. Okay, Now you can append, you can do a lot of other stuff, meaning append, you can remove, you can also do names.remove all, it removes everything, or remove at, you see that? Remove at a specific location. Let's say remove at 0, right? Something like that. Run this again. And basically there is no more Alice because we added Alice and then we added Bob and then we removed Alice because of the remove 0. So these are strings. It doesn't have to be strings. It can be anything you want. You go into integers. You can do integers, right? So basically this is an array of integers and so on. So basically this is just a simple array of integers. You can add stuff in it and so on. So, and you can append. So basically like you say names. It's not names anymore. It's something else. Let's call it numbers. Nums, right? And you could say nums.append, let's say 100, nums.append, let's say 200, and so on. And then I could do print. I could do for each number in nums print, and then I could do num, and here is number. Okay, and basically you can loop over them, run it. Here it is. You can also define it like this. You could say this is of type, you could do something like this, it's of type integer, and then you can declare it as empty, you know, something like that. Or you can put some numbers here. Let's say for example you have 30, 40 and 50, something like that. And in that case it has to be curly brackets. I think it should be curly brackets here. So you can define it to have, let's say 60. Now when you run this, you will see that cannot convert it to this. So I think it's this then. All right, here it is. Run it again. So basically here it is of type integer. It has 40, 50, 60, and then you appended 10 and 200 in it, right? You can also do nums.remove at, let's say 0. So now I'm going to remove the 40, right? Run this again, and basically we remove the 40. That's why it doesn't appear after that, and we're good to go. Okay, you can also look at them here. I think if you look at it like this, it will show you the values. You see here. Here it is. And then here it shows you 40 because it returns whatever you removed, right? All right, cool. So you can look at it like this. See nums.remove. You see here removes and returns the element at a specific position. You see it returns an integer. Cool. So these are arrays, right? So basically this is collections, and it's straightforward. You can also look at how to sort. You know, you can sort an array. For example, this is an array of numbers, right? Here it is. Yes. Here is an array of numbers. You could do nums.sort, right? And you could sort by, or just nums.sort. Let's do that and run it. Does it sort them? Okay, they are sorted now. See? If you don't believe me, let's add some. Let's say we add 300 here and then run this again. So basically it sorts, right? So you can also investigate the sorting and more details in order to change the order and so on, but it's straightforward. You could see that. It's an in-place sort, right? All right, so please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.